or to a person. It's just not acceptable. Not acceptable. And he shouldn't be allowed back in the NFL. That's my opinions. I know other people have opinions and say he served his time, he learned his lessons, he looked very, forgiving on 60 Minutes and blah, 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 this. I don't care. This is what he did. He can't reverse the past.
Yep.
It's what he did. He's going to have to live with it for the rest of his life. Moving on. The Patriots had their preseason opener, which was unfortunately disturbed by that news. What'd you think?
The offense, obviously, on the first series with Brady, I think they looked pretty well. He went 3 and out, and he was stopped. Lawrence Maroney still looks the same. He dances and everything like that. He really hasn't changed from his running game. Fred Taylor didn't get any time Thursday night, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. I was actually kind of looking forward to seeing him. Tom Brady, he did look very, very good as the game progressed, and then they brought in the backups, and that's pretty much.
I'm very happy with how Brady played. I think what it does, it gets his feet wet, it gets him back into the swing of things, gets him into the motion of playing football again. It's been 11 months since he's been out there, so I think this is great. I think every step that he takes out in the field, he'll just be getting better.
Yep.
He needs to get up to game speed. This is what's going to help.
They did say before the game, though, that the Patriots are the contender to beat in the entire NFL.
Yeah, they are. Well, I know fantasy football ratings came out today, and I love to follow it and see what the players are, who number 1 is and stuff like that. Even after having an MCL, an ACL damage to his knee, Tom Brady is still the number 1 rated football player in the nation, in the NFL.
It's unbelievable.
Tom, terrific.
He's just a great player.
A lot of people draw that comparison between Derek Jeter and Tom Brady, and I completely agree with it. That's because they both know how to win. They do. They just know how to do it. They grind it out, and they just come through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Tom Brady, from what you've been able to see, winning those Super Bowls that he's won, and then Derek Jeter with all of the World Series that he has won with the New York Yankees. It's just unbelievable to be able to see that, and they just know how to win games.
Sure is. Sure really is. So the Patriots play another preseason game, which is going to be Thursday night. Is that against Indy?
I want to say it is. I haven't looked at the
I'm not 100% sure who it is, but they'll be playing Thursday night. It's always great to have another team to fall back on when the other team in Boston isn't doing so well and isn't living up to standards. So you can always turn your channel and go on to the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
We'll save that team that I have another gripe with later on. Now, any more things with the NFL before? There was a fight yesterday. I don't know if you heard about this.
Really? Who was?
Oakland Raiders head coach. Was it Cable? Tom Cable or Jim? Cable got in a fight with another assistant coach. They have a bunch of charges being pressed in there. It's Tom Cable, by the way.
Really?
And they got some misdemeanor penalties against them.
Wow.
Quite interesting stuff.
You definitely don't
Coaching staff.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. Wow.
We'll have to see how that plays out. But that's your NFL news. Other than that, I don't think there's anything major. I don't think.
No, they're just getting the preseason underway here.
Preseason's beginning. Football's right around the way, which means the summer is drifting away.
Yeah.
It's time to go back to school, unfortunately. Now today, the NHL stepped into play a little bit, and we got some interesting news to spread out. And that's because the Boston Bruins opened a new team in the South. I don't know if you heard of them. They're called the Carolina Hurricanes. Have you heard of the new?
Oh yeah,
Have you heard of the new Boston Bruins team?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's
tell them who they have now.
Well, the Boston Bruins have released left winger Stefan Yell and also former Bruin Andrew Alberts to the Carolina Hurricanes. Plus, from the last show that we've had, Aaron Ward, former defenseman for the Boston Bruins, he's with his old team, the Carolina Hurricanes. It's kind of sickening.
They're becoming the new Montreal Canadiens and the Bruins.
The Carolina Hurricanes just became very, very, very good. They're a stronger team now.
I know what Carolina was thinking, and that's let's lure some Bruins over that we think can lead us to another playoff series and beat the Bruins.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to be all right and get back to those playoffs because we need some hockey back in this hub of Boston, don't we?
Oh yeah, last year was a wild ride, and hopefully it carries on to next year.
Now here's my thing. Why do you think that Carolina wants to bring these Bruins players into their house?
The funny thing is, I think they had a very, very decent amount of time to actually see what the certain players that they picked, see how they actually play, and see if they can fit in their caliber type of play.
Yep.
Truthfully, I think the Carolina Hurricanes did a heck of a job with picking certain players because Stefan Yell, tremendous player for the Bruins. Andrew Alberts, he was a decent defenseman, and Aaron Ward was a heck of a defenseman for the Bruins.
Now I don't know if people out there know what a pink hat is. Do you know what a pink hat is?
No.
The pink hat is, you're a very casual fan that occasionally watches a game, a Bruins game, and doesn't see the little things that a person like I do or you do. Okay. That's what a pink hat is. The Red Sox have one, the Patriots have one, and stuff like that. It's just a little thing. It's people that aren't, up to date with what's going on, and don't understand the whole games as they are. Now, what I'm looking at here with these pink hats is that they don't understand the little things, and that's what Stefan Yell brought to the table. They may look at this guy and say, "Oh, 6 goals, no, he doesn't do anything.
Right.
Throw him out the trash. He's junk."
Yeah.
Well, they don't. Pink hats don't appreciate the hustle they bring, the ability to win, the ability to be a team leader, stuff like that. That's what a pink hat doesn't notice.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with P.J. Axelson. They may not see the whole picture. P.J. Axelson doesn't score a great amount of goals, but he sure does know how to be a team captain, a leader. He brings his assists. He gives his all on the ice. I would even put Aaron Ward in that category.
The funny thing is, but P.J. Axelson won't be able to do that next season because he signed with a European team in Switzerland.
Exactly.
And good luck to him because I heard that's great hockey out there in Switzerland.
It is great. It is good hockey.
European hockey. So
sad to see him go because we know he is a team leader and such. But
he was the oldest Bruin there. He was the only veteran that has been there. I think he was the oldest Bruin besides anybody else on the team from last year up.
Yeah, he was. He was the. He was there with the likes of Thornton and Samsonov, Byron Dafoe, all those guys.
He has been a Bruin up until last season. He hasn't moved to any other teams.
We wish him the best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Before we wrap up with the NHL, we have a few other interesting things to put out there, and that's the Olympics are coming up. And we all know about 2 players, at least, that are playing in the Olympics, even more from the Bruins. But the 2 notables are Tim Thomas and Phil Kessel. Now, I'm drawing these guys' names out because, number one, Tim Thomas is coming off best season of his career.
Oh, yeah.
Winning the
Vezina Trophy.
Yeah. There's a little risk there. He's going to the Olympics. He's got to get ready. Hopefully he doesn't fade off.
Right, but the funny thing is he also has competition with Ryan Miller, the goalie from the Buffalo Sabres, to win the starting goalie spot on the roster. It should be interesting who they actually pick.
If you're Tim Thomas, what do?
Try to beat.
You're going to try to beat him out?
Try to beat him out for the opening spot, for the starting spot.
But if it means a Stanley Cup,
it doesn't matter to me. If to be able to play in the Olympics for your country is
now you're showing the same ignorance for the WBC, and I'm not trying to be
no. I'm just saying
down. Yeah, this is the WBC argument we have going on. Because you want to represent your country, but then again, there's the risk of not fulfilling your season requirements. Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Yeah.
So it's a risk. We've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that. I don't know. That is interesting. That is very interesting because it's kind of like the WBC.
It is.
And with the Olympics and everything like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's 50-50. You do want to play for your country in the Olympics, obviously. Anybody would want to play in the Olympics. But also you want to stay rested and be able to condition for the upcoming season or whatever it might be.
The Red Sox have certainly learned the hard way with that area.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's